what Plato would say about today's society. If Plato, the great philosopher of ancient Greece, were alive today, he would have many things to say about our modern world. His ideas about justice, truth, and the ideal society were written over 2,000 years ago, but they still matter. Let us imagine what he might think if he saw how we live now. Plato believed in the search for truth. He taught that the world we see is only a shadow of reality, like people chained in a cave watching shadows on the wall. For him, true knowledge came from reason, not just from the senses. If he saw today's world, he might say that we are still trapped in that cave, but now the shadows are digital. Social media, news, and advertisements shape what we see and believe. Instead of seeking truth, many people accept whatever appears on their screens. Plato would warn us that we must question what we see and think deeply about reality. One of Plato's biggest concerns was justice. In his famous work, the Republic, he imagined a perfect society where rulers were wise philosophers. He believed that leaders should be trained in reason and virtue, not just in power or wealth. If he saw today's politics, he would be disappointed. Many leaders are chosen for their charisma or money, not for their wisdom. Corruption and selfish interests often guide decisions. Plato would argue that society suffers when those in power care more about themselves than about the common good. He would say we need leaders who value truth and justice above all. Education was very important to Plato. He founded the Academy, one of the first schools of philosophy, where students learned to think critically. Today, education is often focused on job skills rather than wisdom. Many students memorize facts for tests, but do not learn how to think for themselves. Plato would say this is a mistake. He believed that education should teach people how to live good lives, not just how to make money. He would encourage us to study philosophy, to ask big questions about life, and to seek understanding rather than quick answers. Another problem Plato would notice is the love of material things. In his time, just like now, people chased wealth and possessions. But Plato warned that this leads to emptiness. True happiness, he believed, comes from wisdom and virtue, not from owning more things. Today, advertisements tell us we need the newest phone, the best clothes, the biggest house. Social media makes us compare our lives to others, creating envy and dissatisfaction. Plato would say we must resist this trap. He would tell us to focus on improving our souls rather than our belongings. Plato also wrote about democracy, but he had doubts. He saw that in a democracy, people often vote for leaders who tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. Today, many politicians use emotions and simple slogans to win votes, not deep arguments. Plato would worry that democracy can lead to rule by the uninformed. He would say that decisions should be made by those who have studied and thought carefully, not just by those who shout the loudest. Art and entertainment were also topics Plato discussed. He believed that art should inspire people to be better, not just to distract them. Today, much of our entertainment is about violence, shallow pleasures, or mindless scrolling. Plato would question whether this helps us grow as humans. He would encourage us to seek stories and music that teach wisdom and virtue. Technology would amaze Plato, but it would also concern him. The internet connects the world, but it also spreads lies and divides people. Plato would warn us that technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. He would say we must use it wisely, not let it control us. Finally, Plato would remind us of the importance of philosophy itself. In a busy world, few people take time to reflect on life's big questions. But Plato believed philosophy was the key to a meaningful life. He would urge us to slow down, to think deeply, and to seek truth in a world full of noise. If Plato were here today, he would not reject modern life completely, but he would challenge us to live with more wisdom, more justice, and more thought. His message would be simple: wake up from the shadows, seek truth, and live a life of virtue. The problems of his time are still our problems, and his solutions are still worth hearing. So what can we learn from Plato today? We must question what we see, choose wise leaders, value true education, resist greed, think critically about democracy, seek meaningful art, use technology carefully, and never stop searching for truth. The world has changed, but human nature has not. Plato's wisdom is as important now as it was in ancient Athens. The question is, will we listen? This is the message Plato would give us. It is up to us to follow it.